Hi, I'm Purple Streak, everyone's least favourite YouTuber, and today I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of Bendy and Ying Machine fan games. Now I've got to be quick with this video because TheMeatly is taking these games down left and right. No offence dude, but I don't think these games are going to be harming your bottom line, especially with the Steam sales, console sales, plushes, figurines and the rest. But hey, I'm not a puppet, so what do I know? On a lighter note, I now have over 1,000 subscribers. You know what that means? Monetization, baby! I've already quit my full-time job to focus on my YouTube career, so let's see that sweet, sweet ad revenue. Oh.
Spare change, ma'am.
The first game I'm going to talk about is Bendy and Ying Machine Downward Fall by Zero Nux. It's very short and takes the majority of its assets directly from the original game, but I love it. It does a lot with a little. It adds characters, it adds humour, and even adds a little fear into the mix. You start off waking up hungover and being told you've got to go paint your last painting. You get insulted by a Bendy doll.
Golly gee, the ink demon must have messed up your face pretty good. Wait, that's how you always look like? Oh.
Then paint your painting and go to see Fetty, a new character created for this game. Just before you reach him, the shutter comes down and you get chased by the ink demon. I'll be honest, I'm not great at games. It took me a good few tries to notice the big close gate button on the side of the wall. Whoops. So you close the door and then you're safe. I think it's pretty funny how you can still see him running at you through the gaps in the gate. Zero Nux was just like, I won't program him walking away, just let him do his thing. He's not going anywhere. You then find out Andy Thatcher has taken 2 weeks paid vacation for his goldfish's funeral. Fair enough. And that's about it. That's the end of the demo. There's a nice message from the creator saying he may have bitten off more than he can chew, and that most but not all of the textures belong to TheMeatly, and to support the original game on Steam. Well that's nice, and 404 game not found. Taken down by TheMeatly. Cool. The worst part of this is that the creator made a video explaining that after the first game was taken down, he was understanding because he was using their official assets, and decided to completely remake the game from the ground up. Then when he announced that this new game was being built from scratch, he received another email from GameJolt saying the TheMeatly team had sent another DMCA, and they were forced to take the game down. Bear in mind the fact he hadn't even put a download of the game up yet, so it literally just bore the name and that was it. I'll put a link in the description to this full video as it's definitely worth a watch, and he goes into more detail than I do. I just personally don't agree with it. I understand they have reasons, but it just seems unfair, especially when it's made from scratch. What do you guys think? Leave a comment if you have an opinion on it. Another fan games review? Another Five Nights at Freddy's clone. If Scott Cawthorne knew the unholy hell he'd unleashed by creating FNAF, he'd probably still would have made it, because he made some serious time, who am I kidding? Let's get into this. This game was found on a website called Fan Free Games, and it's truly awful. Like, the worst game I've ever played. Everything is drawn terribly and I have no idea what was meant to be going on here. And once he jump scared me, the game just kinda kept going. I couldn't access the camera anymore, but I could still lock the letterbox? Like, what even is that? Terrible game, but then what else was I expecting? Next game please. And a whiskey. Make it a double. Actually leave the bottle. And a gun. I struggle to find many Bendy fan games considering all the ones I seem to find led to removed games on GameJolt. Again, shout out to TheMeatly's legal team for making this video nearly impossible to make. Appreciate it. I decided to put up a question on the Bendy subreddit asking for Bendy fan games, and thankfully I got sent this game, Bendy and the Ink Machine Lost Realities. Big shout out to BubbaBoy1027 for sending me the link to this. Now this game is only a demo, but has a lot of potential. Well, had. I'm sorry if I keep harping on about it, but Meatly, having this big of a grip on your fanbase isn't good. This game has brand new assets and a completely different playstyle to your game, so why are you threatened by it? Either way, it's officially been cease and desisted and can't be found online anymore. So in this game you play as the Ink Demon himself. This game looks really nice and the walking animation looks great and really captures his movement well. That is until you go left or right. But I'm sure he'd have fixed that eventually. Let's not forget this is a demo after all. You also have a seeing tool as seen in chapter 5 of Bendy and the Ink Machine, which brings up secret things in the area. When the secret text is in a language I don't understand, it's not the most useful though. And also I have no idea what this thing is saying to me. I don't remember seeing this during my playthrough. You can also collect bacon soup, which turns out to be an interesting way to hide a key you need to find. I like the atmosphere too of the eerie music, and there's a lot going on in the background. This demo is pretty short, and ends giving a glimpse of what is yet to come. I tried to translate what was being said during this game, but pressing on the Sabbath R will open Magic Mirror? Oh wait, no, sorry. Pressing on the District will open Magic Mirror. My bad. I scraped the bottom of the barrel again for this next game. I found it on the Play Store, and it was removed shortly after I got some footage of it. It was called Bendy and the Machine of Inca on the store, but comes up as Bendy Game Adventure on my phone. Then when you start, it asks if you're a male or female, and if you're on Android or iOS. I downloaded it from the Play Store, how do you not know? It also asks you to rate it before you even play it, which is always a sign of a good game. So I rated it, and then it asked me to generate app data. And that's when I decided I wasn't going to risk losing my phone to whatever viruses this game had in store for me. So yeah, sorry. Could have been Game of the Year for all we'll know. The next game I'm going to talk about is Jimmy and the Ink Plans. This game is currently still available on GameJolt, and I'll leave a link in the description, although by the time this video goes up it may well be gone. This game was created by Exom9Choc37. Catchy. Now this is the quality Bendy fan game I was looking for. I can't tell if this is meant to be a joke or not, but this game has far too many issues. The grammar is terrible and so are all the art assets. And also your head somehow gets stuck under this table, so I guess everything's flat on the ground then. Another issue that seems to be prevalent in these types of games is that you can't press left followed by down. You have to let go of every button before pressing another direction, which makes moving around an absolute pain. Now, with all the major issues out of the way, I'd like to say I do actually quite like this game. It has a small story to it and additional dialogue with these tape recorders lying around, and there's multiple enemies in the game too, although they all follow one set route, which makes them seem very unthreatening. I sure hope the Ink Demon doesn't get me. Anyway, you make it to the exit and are greeted by a lovely cutscene of what I think is the floor falling apart under your feet. I mean, it's quite hard to tell what's going on with art this bad, honestly, but I'd play the Chapter 2 if it comes out. So another game I'm going to take a look at is the prequel of the Ink Demon. I struggled to get a hold of this one as once again it's been removed from the face of the internet, but thankfully after talking to the creator of the game, a YouTuber known as Oxygenium, he provided me with the latest build of the game before it was removed. This game is a short but sweet fan game with a look similar to the original. The game has a few small tasks to accomplish and uses a few of its own assets and textures to flesh out a suitably creepy world. I love how the drawings on the walls have been replaced with his own. You can tell he was particularly proud of this cat drawing. Your first task is to find the wires out of a Boris doll and use them to fix the shutters, which leads you to clicking on all the surrounding Borises in the area. And man, if this jump scare didn't catch me off guard. Your next task is to find something to eat. I mean, sure, I've been hungry at inconvenient times before, but when I'm surrounded by possessed dolls and ink pouring down all around me, the last thing I'm going to be thinking of is a quick can of cold bacon soup. So after your third task of fixing 5 speakers around the area, the Ink Demon rushes at you, and you wake up in your incredibly empty room and realise it was all a dream. Or was it? Dun dun dun! I feel like the last sentence of the game could do with a grammar check though. Beware dreams, they able to come true. Words to live by that. I really enjoyed this fan game. It had a great atmosphere, original concepts and new enemies. Like most fan games, it does lack a little polish here and there, such as when these dancing dolls appear. If you watch them long enough, they just start clipping through the floor. And also, while this didn't happen on my second playthrough of the game, the first playthrough had the tasks overlapping each other, making them quite unreadable. So anyways, thanks to Oxygenium for sending me this game. And if you speak Russian, go check out his channel in the description below. Another game I was asked to check out is Mystery Tale Online because it features a Bendy skin. This game is an Undertale fan game though, so if I ever make an Undertale fan game video, I'll play the game then, but for now I'll just mention it. So the last game I'm going to take a look at is Bendy and the Ink Machine Return. This game is by This game is made by them and is another game in Russian. This game has only just come out, hence why it's still currently available on GameJolt and hasn't been taken down yet. So get it while it's still there. This game has a lot of promise, but as it uses assets from the official game, you know this is going to get taken down. So you start off walking into the studio with the heaviest sounding footsteps I've ever heard. And first impressions are, okay. The boxes aren't on the floor, but okay. Oh, and hey, I found a totally intentional hidden room. Sweet! I then get asked to find and press a black square. At least that's what Google Translate says, which means you search the area for this little black button to continue. Then the game just straight copies the first chapter of the game by making you find various items. After that, the room floods with ink and some doors get closed off, which is a nice eerie effect, which then gets ruined by taking the elevator through it. I don't think that's how Liquid works. That just doesn't look right. And that's the game. I love how this poor guy ends the credits asking TheMeatly to please leave this game alone. He's obviously aware of what's been going on with the Bendy fan games. Poor guy. I pray that he goes unnoticed. And I really hope that one of the 50 views this video gets isn't TheMeatly. Hey, do you think TheMeatly will try and take down this? So there you have it, that's what Bendy fan games have to offer. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you for some reason want to go the extra mile, I also have a Patreon with an exclusive video on there. But don't worry, you aren't missing much if you don't. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, goodbye.